Thank you for joining us online today. You're about to hear a message from our senior pastor, Pastor Dave Minton. If God has used this ministry to bless you in any way, please take a few moments and send us an email at info@go2ccc.org. We're always encouraged to hear how God is using this ministry to bless and inspire faith in people all over the world through what He's doing right here in the Pacific Northwest. Also, if you would like to support this ministry financially, you can do that by giving online as well. It helps us to continue to bring broadcasts like this one every single week. So now, prepare your heart to hear a message from God.
Decisions of history makers. And we're looking at 7 biblical characters of decisions that they made that become a Genesis moment in their life that changed the direction and the course of the rest of their life. And we're looking at their decisions to learn from them so that we can apply those decisions to our life. You change your life by the decisions that you make. And we said a few weeks ago that decision number 1 was to accept responsibility. A couple of weeks ago we said decision number 2 was to seek wisdom. Common sense isn't all that common. Last week we said decision number 3 was to live by faith. And tonight I want to talk about decision number 4. And this is from the example of Jesus himself. And that is the decision that history makers have a decided heart. History makers have a decided heart. Listen what Luke chapter 2 says, and I will get into this for a moment. So when this is Jesus, he's 12 years old, mom and dad had left, and he decided to stay behind at church. Isn't that awesome? So when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said to him, "Son, why have you done this to us? Why have you been at church for 3 days? Why did you leave us? Look, your father and I have sought for you anxiously." Goes on to say, and he said to them, "Why did you seek me? Did you not know that I must be about my Father's business?" At a very young age, Jesus had a decided heart. Of all the decisions we're going to talk about in this series, a decided heart is probably the least understood. And the failure to have a decided heart is one of the key reasons that we fail at succeeding at what matters the most in life. Something we don't understand, but one of the greatest keys to success in life. A decided heart deals with what we talk about after I make the decision to walk in loyalty. It's the heart of being all in. It's the heart of devotion. It's the heart of not looking back. Is this making any sense? Now listen carefully. What a decided heart is how you go about making a decision, and then how you go about making that decision great. Oh, I don't think you caught that part. See, it's not just being persistent. It's not just persistent. No, it's about making a decision and then making it a great decision. It's about making a decision, coming to the conclusion, making a decision, and making it an awesome decision. Once you make a decision to get married, make the decision to make it a great marriage. Once you make the decision to choose your career path, make it a great career. Once you choose to become a parent, become a great parent. Once you make the choice, a decided heart is to make it a great choice. And some people make choices, but they don't follow through with making it a great choice. Now watch this. This is the beautiful part. This is the beautiful part. Don't forget this. When you make the decision and then you work at making it a great decision or the best decision, you ensure your destiny. Did you catch that? I make the choice, I work hard at making it a good choice, and I ensure or increase the opportunity or increase the rate of having a destiny that I want. Can you just meditate on that for a moment? I'm convinced a lot of people miss this. It's to make a choice, work hard at making it a good choice, so I ensure that my destiny is sure. And we're going to look at this from a broader perspective, but you can pull it down into any area of your life. You can pull it down into marriage. You can pull it down into your career. You can pull it down into your ministry. You can pull it down into any arena of your life. But it's how you make a choice. It's how you work at making that choice great so that you ensure your destiny. How many know Jesus had some challenges along the way? How many know Jesus had some obstacles along the way? See, if you want to be successful at what really matters in life, think about this. If you want to be successful at what really matters in life, you have to be a decided person. You have to be wholehearted. You have to be all in. You have to be devoted. Have you ever seen someone really have you ever seen a successful Olympic athlete that was not devoted? Have you ever seen someone successful at marriage that turned around and made decisions after making that decision that would sabotage the health of the relationship? Have you ever seen someone succeed at finances after saying, I'm going to prosper in life, then turn around and make decisions contrary to prospering? See, if you're going to be successful in life, one of the great keys to success in life is to be wholehearted. I've been watching the Tour de France. I watch it every year. You ever see this thing? It's a bike race for 21 days. They take about 2 days off. They cover over 2,000 miles. And they ride up some of the steepest hills in Europe. And I watch these guys, and I'm just inspired. I would never, no. I'm not even sure my transmission in my car would get me up some of those hills. Let alone some of the hills those guys ride up. Right? But their devotion and their dedication is inspirational. You catch this? See, when you're devoted to something, you become inspirational to others. You can't be successful in life without being wholehearted in life. So, real quickly, I'm going to give you 3 areas that we want to be successful at. And that's not what I really want to talk about tonight, but I just want to get you in the ballpark. But before I talk about these 3 areas, let me just pause right here. Because some of us have a problem being wholehearted because we've been around a few days. Young people find it easier to be wholehearted, but the older you get, the harder it is to keep a wholehearted commitment. Why? Because when you're young, you got dreams with no setbacks. But when you get married and maybe have a divorce, it can take the wind out of you. When you put everything into a career and that career collapses and fails, it can take the wind out of you. When you give something what you feel was your best, it can cause you to draw back and not want to give your best again. And when you start holding back and throttling back on giving your best, you've compromised your destiny. Can I say that again? You've compromised your destiny when you no longer are willing to be wholehearted. Many of you in this church family know that I lost my first wife, and it just devastated me, took the wind out of me. And when I met Kelly, I had a conversation with her. And in our conversation, I was explaining to her, I'm a wholehearted person. I'm going to go into this relationship, but I'm going to go in wholehearted. And this is a conversation, I don't know if I should be telling you this, but I explained to her, I says, I need this relationship to work because, no, listen, I was serious. Because I wasn't just going to make an emotional decision. I was going to make a decision, and then I was going to make the decision the best that it could be. And I explained to her, I got one great love left in me. And should this not work out, it would take something out of me I don't think I would ever recover from. So I'm coming into this thing wholehearted. If you're not coming in wholehearted, please let me know. I'd rather know now than later. Now, she's come in wholehearted. If anybody know Kelly, she's come in wholehearted. It's like, I'm a truly blessed man. No doubt about that. But what I'm saying is sometimes we enter things, but we're no longer wholehearted. What I was saying is I need you to know that I need to come into this thing wholehearted. Listen what Jesus said. I'm gonna get through the rest of this lesson in just a moment. But in John chapter 13, in verse 1, this is before he was to be crucified, and it was just before the Passover festival, and Jesus knew that his hour had come for him to leave this world. Now pause, leave this world. How was Jesus about to leave this world? Through the agony of Gethsemane and the cross. He knew his time to leave this world, to go to his Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. Please catch what it's not saying. When he loved them to the end, it's not to the end of his life because he's not dead. Oh, you're not catching this. What it's saying is that he loved them without limit. He's about to go through the worst season in his life, and he's not holding back. He knows he's about to wash the disciples' feet. He knows Judas is about to betray him. He knows Peter is about to deny him. He knows the disciples are about to abandon him. He knows Pilate is about to embarrass him. He knows the disciples, or he knows the crowd is about to reject him. And he knows the Pharisees are about to make a mockery of him. But he still says, I'm all in. All in. He loved them without limit. I'm still wrapping my mind around that. I don't know that I can do that. But this is learning from history makers. So, where are some areas we need to be all in? Number one, you should know these. Put your heart into your worship. Put your heart into your worship. In Chronicles, in 2 Chronicles 16, for the eyes of the Lord run to and fro through the whole earth to show himself strong on behalf of those whose hearts are loyal to him. God's just saying, I just want to show off. I'm just looking for somebody to show off in. Why do you think God uses Capital Christian Center the way he does? Do you think it's because we're better? No. Trust me. That was obvious, right? We've had this conversation before. Do you think it's because of Pastor Dave's so smart? Kelly. She's laughing the hardest on the front row. My wife. Okay, no. All right. I love you too, baby doll. Why does God use us? Because there's people around here who are wholehearted people. Do you understand one of the things that makes Ranch so powerful is the people who serve at Ranch serve as volunteers, not as paid staff. Or just taking time off of work, sowing and investing their life. Are you catching what I'm trying to say to you? So God is looking for someone to show himself strong in. And when you start saying, God, I'm all in. I'm all in. God, I'm all in. God said, I'm going to show myself strong in you. Put your whole heart into your family. Put your whole heart, number two, put your whole heart into your family. Ephesians chapter 5 says it this way. Husbands, love your wife just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. How many know if you're going to have a great marriage, you got to be all in? You can't be in one minute and out the next. You can't create a culture of threats. You can't create a culture of not being safe. You can't be, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. You can't do that. You got to be all in. And to be all in, that means you have to give up some of your buddies, and you may have to give up some of your girlfriends. You may have to give up some things to be all in. See, there's a lot of people want to go in, but they don't really want to be all in. And you've heard me say this before, and I'm not teaching on marriage tonight, but marriage is brutal on selfish people. Because marriage was created by God to serve another person. And we often go into marriage not to serve, but to be served, and all of a sudden we're sabotaged. It's like, whoa, got ambushed by that one. No, when you get into marriage, it's all about serving somebody else. Number 3, the third area that we want to be all in, is all in. Put your heart into your work. Most people don't enjoy their careers because their heart is not into it. They say, but Pastor, my heart would be into the career if I was doing what I wanted to do. Well, take responsibility. Go do what you want to do, because your destiny is assured when you make a decision. Work at making that decision the best it can be. Colossians says it this way. Whatever you do, God says, I don't care what you do, but whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working to the Lord, for not human masters. You catching this? Put your heart into what you do. Put it into your worship, put it into your family, and put it into your career, put it into your work. Now, I'm not really talking about that tonight, but I just wanted to get you in the ballpark. How many would like to say, I'd like to have an assured destiny with God. I'd like to have an assured destiny with my family, my relationships that matter the most. And I'd like to have a assured destiny with a career that I felt like I gave my life and my time and my talents and energy in exchange for something that mattered to me. I would like to have that assured. That puts us number. But here's the problem. Let's talk about this for a little bit. Here's the problem. Most people get stuck in the process of making decisions. Listen to what Joel says. In Joel chapter 3, there are many, many people in the valley of decision. The day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. How many would say that today, Pastor, I have got so many decisions. I don't know what to do. Come on, somebody. You're in the valley of decision. Decisions. Well, if you're in the valley of decision, you're in the right place tonight. Because I'm going to beat you up for a minute, then I'm going to set you free. Just kidding. Sort of. People get stuck in the decision-making process. They get stuck in analyzing. Come on, they get stuck in analyzing, and they do something like this. They go, okay, I got to make a decision. And they run over and say, Bob, I'm about to make a decision. Bob, what do you think I should do? And they get Bob's opinion. And then they run over to Joe. Joe, I'm about to make this decision. What do you think I should do, Joe? Joe, well, this is what Bob thinks I should do, Joe. What do you think I should do, Joe? And then they get Bob's opinion and Joe's opinion. And I'm all for getting opinions. But they get stuck between opinions. Listen what Elijah said in Kings chapter 1 and verse 18. Elijah went before the people and said, how long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. If Baal is God, follow him. But the people said nothing. You ever watch popularity polls, opinion polls? It's like, okay, the president's popular. No, he's not popular. This person's popular. No, they're not popular. That policy popular. That policy not popular. We don't know what we want. Come on, somebody. And this person who gets stuck between two opinions. Well, what does Bob want, and what does Joe think I should do? And should they get stuck between two opinions, and that's their cycle. I don't know what to do. Bob thinks I should do this, and Joe thinks I should do this, and then finally, okay, I'm gonna make a decision. Okay, I'm gonna make a decision. I made the decision. Oh no. Did I make the right decision? Oh, Bob. I made the decision. But, Bob, I'm not sure I made the right decision. Bob, what do you think? Do you think I should undo the decision? Then he ran over. And Joe, I'm not sure I made the right decision. And here's what Bob thinks I should do. What do you think I should do? Come on. Then they go back, and they undo the decision. They recant on I undo the decision. Like, uh-oh. Wait a minute. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have done it. And now I've undone what I should have done, and I wish I hadn't undone it. Maybe I should go back and try to redo it again. Hello, somebody. And they get stuck in the process of making the decision to be all in and then managing it to be great from there. Are you catching this? See, successful people are deliberate about making their decisions and change their minds very slowly. Unsuccessful people make their decisions randomly and change their mind quickly. Can we just take another pause right here, take an intermission to irritate a few people? If by the time I'm done with this message tonight, and you are still have an undecided heart, and you are wishy-washy in your decision making, God told me to tell you, leave him out of it and stop blaming him for your confusion. You know what I'm talking about? How many people like this? God told me, and they're convinced. God told me. And it's like, man, they're convinced. God told me. I felt it. I prayed about it. I said, God's with me. God's with me. I feel it. And then they go. And then they get some trouble. They get some adversity. And it gets difficult. And all of a sudden, God changed his mind. But they don't say God changed it. My time there is done. My season is over. I've been released from that. And now they're convinced. Nope, I'm done. Nope, God told me to go this way now. And God is saying, would you just leave me out of it? You don't know what you want. James, we said it a couple weeks ago. James chapter 2 says the double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. And by the way, unstable people are dangerous. Come on, would you agree that unstable people are dangerous people? And being unstable will touch every part of your life. It'll touch your finances. It'll touch your relationship. It'll touch your destiny. It'll touch your career. It'll touch your ministry. Being unstable will jack you up. Hear Ozzy Osbourne in the background. All aboard the crazy train right there, man. You don't know if you're on or off. See, if you're wishy-washy, Malachi chapter 3, God says, for I'm the Lord, I don't change. So if he tells you to do something. See, you ever know people run around, they're always looking for a word from the Lord? Not me. He's already given me 2 or 3 instructions. It's going to take me the rest of my life to do. It's like, God, I got enough to do. I don't need no new words from the Lord. I'm exhausted with the last ones you gave me. They're wearing me out, working those few words you already gave me. Most people want a word from the Lord because they don't like the last one they got. Try again, God. It's like, deal me another card. I don't like the last card I got. Deal me another card. I don't like that card. Right? Come on. It's like, I need a word from the Lord because I don't like the last word I got. Come on, somebody. Oh, praise the Lord. But come on. On a positive side, though, listen to this. On a positive note, when you exhibit a decided heart, you're a person who chooses their destiny, chase their destiny, you'll become an inspirational person. Please listen to me. You will become a person that inspires others. You'll become a source of encouragement. You'll cause others to believe what you're doing in your life makes something possible in their life. Please catch this. This last weekend we did Solid Rock Ranch. Do you know why students get so excited out there at Solid Rock Ranch? Because they're around people who are all in. And it inspires them. When you become an all-in person, you become an inspirational person. Make the decision. See, the purpose of analysis is not to keep analyzing. The purpose of analysis is to come to a conclusion and make a decision. I've got the information. And the thing is, you never have all the information. There's always a degree of uncertainty. That's why you make the decision and then work hard at making it right. And then when you make it right, you ensure your destiny. You ensure your destiny. So how can we have a decided heart? What are some things that we can do? I like to be practical. Let's get practical for a couple minutes. Number one, ask yourself, where do I want to go? And is it worth the hassle? Please guess this. I mean, every place you want to go in life, physically, emotionally, spiritually, has a price. Some people say, I want to go. Sure, you can go. Here's the price. I don't want to go no more. I want to go. Here's what it costs. I don't want to go. I shared with you last week, I got an invitation to be a part of the formation of a group of founding pastors that, with Pastor Rick Warren. And a great initiative he's going to start next year. And that's helping pastors and building churches is in my heart. I love that stuff. I hang out with pastors. I coach pastors. What's my hobby? Developing people. That's my hobby. I love coaching people. And so I'm invited to be a part of this network, this founding team. The only problem is they're meeting in Rwanda. Do I really? Yeah, I'm in. Now, if you know anything about me, I hate planes. I'm not afraid of flying. I just wish everybody else didn't want to fly all at the same time. Crowd, I mean, it's just, anyway. It's up all my issues. I have to work on being a Christian. When I fly planes, it's just, I lose my salvation, start all over. It's like, why? Why do we have to do the meeting there? Why can't we do it like in Lacey? Why don't you all fly here? Make it easy for me. See, that's the way we do process. We want something. We just don't want the price of something. And here's why that's so important. You've got to know that what you want is worth the hassle, because when you start getting hassled, you'll say, why am I doing this? Well, I wanted it until I found, and then I got sticker shock. Now I don't want it. You show me a great marriage and I'll show you someone who struggled through the hassle of paying a great price. You show me a great career and I'll show you someone who struggled through the hassle of paying a great price. You show me a great church and I'll show you a congregation that works through the hassle of paying a great price. You show me something great, I'll show you somebody who paid a price. Jesus paid a price. And you got to ask yourself, how much do you want something? Here's what Jesus said when he was facing the garden. Father, if it's your will, take this cup away from me. But wait a minute. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. Here's what Paul said when he was about to go to Jerusalem and facing all kind of adversity. He goes, none of these things move me in Acts 20. None of these things move me, nor do I count my life dear to myself, so that I may finish my race with joy. That's powerful. See, success in any area, in any arena, comes with a struggle. I'd like to tell you life is free of struggles, but then I'd be lying to you. And I hear some pastors that try to preach that, which I believe really sets people up, because they can never get to a life without struggle, so therefore they feel like they must be failing in their application of Christianity. But if I tell you that life is a struggle, but God wants you to have life and have it more abundantly, and if you work through the struggle, you step into the assured destiny that it has for you. Does this make any sense? Church, which struggle do you want me to tell? You may name one. Solid Rock Ranch, we're all like praising the Lord, shouting, thank you, Jesus. I'm going to tell you, that has been nothing but a struggle. Building, developing, believing, raising the money, getting people all the way through. On the other side of the struggle is the victory. Right now, we're in the process of trying to get our student rooms and everything ready by September. I mean, we're in the summer season and already we don't have enough room in our classrooms and we got problems and we're raising money. We're getting classrooms done. I got about $150,000 I need to come up with in the next couple months just to get it. What? Oh, to hell with those kids. This is too much. The price is too high. Let's just be a little church and take care of us. And if you ain't got room, I'm sorry. We learned the ropes. We know how to get in. We know how to get in early. We know how to get our kids in. And your kids don't matter. No. I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm going to fight for every kid that wants to come. I'm going to fight for every family that wants to come. I'm all in. So we're going to fight and struggle through the finances. We're going to fight and struggle through the fundraising. We're going to fight and struggle through the volunteers. We're going to fight and struggle through developing people. We're going to fight and struggle through discipling people. We're going to fight and struggle through prayer. We're going to rebuke the devil. We're going to stand strong. We're going to grow ourselves. We're going to renew our minds. We're going to struggle to victory because we're all in. We're loyal. And he's showing himself strong because we want and are willing to pay the price. Now, remember, in this series, we're not talking about God's part in this series. We're talking about our part. So we don't have to worry about God's part. God's good for his. In this series, it's about our decisions doing our part. We're not earning anything. We're just growing ourselves. Are you catching what I'm trying to say to you? What do I want? That right there is a start right there. Most people don't know what they want, and so they just get caught up with whatever. I've coached pastors and business leaders and people for a long time. I'm going to tell you right now, most people struggle to tell me what they want. I'll look across the table, I'll be in a coaching session, I said, tell me what you want out of life. And they struggle to tell me that. I say, how can I help you if you don't know what you want? How can I help you if you can't tell me what you want? It's your responsibility to tell me what you want. It's my responsibility to help you get there. But if you can't tell me what you want, then I'm just left to guessing. And I got too much to go to guess. I'm not a very good guesser. In fact, I guarantee I'll guess wrong. So if you can't tell me what you want, what kind of marriage do you want? What kind of family do you want? What kind of relationship with God do you want? I just want a church that God wants us to be. So every year I brutally throw my heart open to the Lord and say, God, are we that church? Change me where I need to change. Grow me where I need to grow. Because I know I'm not perfect, but I just want to be what you want me to be. And I want to be the church you want us to be so that we are making an impact in our city and we're being the place that you want us to be. So what do you want? And then are you willing to pay the price? And here's why that's so important. Because you will have struggles. And if you don't have your eye on the prize, you'll get weary of the struggles. Which is number 2. Think big and think long term. If you're going to have if you're going to be wholehearted, you got to think big. You got to think big. And you got to think long term. The Bible says about Jesus in Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 2, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. How did he endure the cross? By looking through it for the joy that was set before him. You've got to think big. If you don't think big, let me say it this way. How many know life is crazy? Life is full of distractions. Life is full of shiny objects. Life, and if you don't have a goal, a dream so big, you and I will be easily distracted. We get easily distracted with our emotions and our struggles of now and take our eyes off the joy that was set before us. We get caught up in offenses. We get hurt. We get offended. We get distracted all over the place. But you got to think big. Because if you don't think big, it's easy to get distracted. But when you think big, you reduce distractions. Think of it like this. It's like the one father told his grandson, his grandfather was teaching his kid to go hunting. He says, son, when you hunt for rabbits in grizzly country, keep your eye open for grizzly bears. But when you hunt for grizzly bears in rabbit country, you can ignore the rabbits. Some of you need to meditate on that one. See, if your life is about things that aren't worth your best, then other things will always, shiny object, squirrel. And I'm the worst. It's got to be really important to hold my attention. Are you catching this, church? Number 3, I'm going to be done here. You got to own the decision. Indecision denies you of becoming who you were created to be, and it denies the world of the gift that you are to the world. Indecision will send you to your grave without fulfilling your destiny. You've got to own the decision. The decision is mine, and I own it. If you're with me, that's great. If you're not with me, I'm sorry, but my decision is mine, and I must continue on. And this is why this is so important, because when you start making wholehearted decisions, you will challenge the status quo in your life. As a pastor, throughout the years in the journey of this church, when I've ever challenged the status quo, I've always had the peanut gallery rise up. The naysayers, the not so well wishers, the critics, those who want to have fault and find fault. And why they want to fight for the status quo and complain. Would you like to know why they fight for the status quo? I would too. I have no idea. I have not been able to figure it out. You figured out, would you please let me know? Maybe we can help them in the journey. But here's the thing, when you rise up to go wholehearted, all of a sudden, out of the peanut gallery are going to rise critics. Listen what Jesus said in John chapter 10. The Jews took up stone again to stone him, which wasn't the first time. Jesus answered, before you throw rocks at me today, many good works I've shown you from my Father. For which of those works do you stone me now? Now, pause right there. Who can be offended at Jesus? Please hear what I'm about to say. I don't care who you are. You will have critics. You're going to have critics. The Jews took up stone. Then the Jews answered, saying, for a good work, we don't stone you. But for blasphemy, and because you, being a man, make yourself God. Hear what they're saying? Was Jesus God? He says, so the only way you'll accept me is if I don't be who I am. And because I am who I am, I'm my authentic self, my true self, I'm my wholehearted self. I'm about my Father's business. I'm just here to love you and serve you, die for you. Me being me offends you? I own that. I'll not be your victim. I'll not offer my destiny upon your opinion of who you think I am. I'll be my authentic self. And some people perceive that, and I'm not talking about being stubborn, but it will be perceived as stubborn. It will be perceived as arrogant. It will be perceived as high-mindedness. It will be perceived as all kind of things because it confronts something deeply on the inside of them that speaks to their lack of wholeheartedness. Are you catching this, church? And finally, number 4, I'm just going to wrap this up. When confronted with challenges, I will search for solutions, not escapes. When my life isn't going well, I'm not going to seek an escape. I'm going to seek to make it work. I'm going to seek a solution. I'm going to seek wisdom. I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to live by, I'm going to do the other things we've already talked about. 1 John chapter 5. Whatever is born of God overcomes the world, and this is the victory that overcomes the world, our faith. See, I'm going to live my life. When you're wholehearted, you're going to live your life saying, struggles come, I'm just going to work hard to overcome them, figure them out, fight through them, defeat them, be a champion.